This man cares for his paralyzed wife by bathing her every day, but on this day, after filling the bathtub, he suddenly slipped, hit the tub, and lost consciousness. His wife felt terrified at the sight because the faucet was still running, but she was completely paralyzed and unable to move, and at this rate, the water would drown her. Soon, as she watched the water level rise, she tried to move her right foot, the only part she could feel, in an attempt to open the drain at the bottom of the tub. Seeing the water rise to cover her mouth and nose, she quickly focused her strength on her right foot, and after several tries, she not only failed to open the valve but also broke the chain connected to the upper part. She accidentally broke the chain attached to the upper part. The woman lost all hope while watching the faucet keep filling the tub, and by then the water had already covered her mouth and nose. In an effort to save herself, she concentrated her strength on her left hand and slowly reached for the nearby shower head, attempting to turn off the faucet. She attempted to adjust the dish head, but the movement was very sluggish. Just before she could set it right, the water fully covered her head, and she felt herself about to drown. In that instant, she found herself completely drained of energy, yet she was able to open the faucet to reduce the water's flow. Yet the elevated water level still represented a serious threat to her life, and as her breath was on the verge of failing, she quickly let her body float, lifting her right foot. She instinctively kicked the drain hole forcefully to open it. Immediately, the water level began to fall, and after some had drained, her head finally surfaced. With her strong desire to live, the woman survived at last, but then she stumbled upon a remarkable discovery. Miraculously, the near-death experience restored sensation to her entire body. Her body, having been paralyzed for 30 years, was revived. She grasped the edge of the pool and slowly stood up to see how her husband was doing. Oddly enough, her husband, who had been sprawled on the floor, vanished suddenly, and she examined the marks on the ground. She fell into despair. Her husband had not truly fainted. Why did he let her nearly drown without intervening? Was this a deliberate act by her husband? She considered this and swiftly grasped the shower curtain, but her body was still weak. She confidently fell to the ground again. She struggled to stand and stumbled toward the bedside table to call the police. But as soon as she lifted the phone receiver, she saw a strange shadow through the door crack. At first, she doubted her friend's claim that her husband was unfaithful, but now she understood that her friend's words were entirely accurate. Was her husband genuinely attempting to murder her to run away with his lover? To prevent his plan from succeeding, she swiftly seized a shard of glass from the broken mirror and used it to reflect, and to see what he was doing outside. However, she soon understood that the shadow she had seen was merely the curtain swaying in the breeze. Nevertheless, she remained cautious and moved slowly toward the door, afraid her husband might suddenly appear.